Napoli, and in this video I'd like to discuss and address the ever-changing world of technology and how it can impact and affect an educator's collaboration with parents in regards to their child's education and success. So through my teaching experience, additional research that I found, graduate studies courses, and meetings and discussions with my field-based instructor at PA Cyber, Miss Marianne John, I've had a great deal of opportunity to realize the importance of collaboration. In an article, which was written by a child psychologist, Louise Porter, she actually quotes the research of Christensen, saying that students' school adjustment relies at least in part on the practical and emotional resources made available to them over the years from home, school, and the wider community. This research goes on to explain that a parent-driven model to encourage collaboration for the success of the student is the best way to incorporate the necessary collaboration between parents and teachers. Under models that give professionals ultimate power, the paradox seems to be that if as a teacher, you attempt to use that power, you end up losing the influence that you have over both your student and the parent group. And when a parent doesn't comply with the solutions imposed on him or her, the resulting despondency and failure will end up disempowering all of you. So instead, when problems arise, the respect inherent in a parent-driven stance allows you to end up recruiting parents' advice and harnessing their expertise at solving problems for their own family and its members. So this research shows that this will increase the likelihood of finding workable solutions that parents are willing to enact with you. Given that increases in parental involvement produce improvements in children's academic skills, particularly in those most at risk of academic failure. In addition to that research that I found provided by the Michigan Department of Education shows that the most consistent predictors of children's academic achievement and social adjustment are parent expectations of the child and their academic attainment and satisfaction with their child's education at school. Parents of high-achieving students end up setting higher standards for their for their children's educational activities than parents of lower achieving students do. So this same research actually goes on to quote Joyce Epstein of Johns Hopkins University and her framework for defining 6 different types of parental involvement. These include parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision making, collaborating with community. So actually building upon these 6 types of parental involvement, the National PTA created program standards of excellence. The first standard being communicating. And they say that communication between home and school is regular, two-way, and it must be meaningful. Standard number 2 says that the parenting skills are promoted and supported in both environments. Standard 3 is student learning. Parents play an integral role in assisting student learning. Standard 4 is volunteering. Parents are welcome in the school and their support and assistance are sought, which I thought was really interesting from a cyber school point of view because we consider parents to be the at-home teachers. So that volunteering mentality is absolutely necessary. Standard 5 says school decision making and advocacy, and parents are full partners in the decisions that affect children and the family. And then Standard 6, adapted from that research, is collaborating with community. And it says that community resources are used to strengthen schools, families, and in turn student learning. So as a teacher of this generation of digital natives, I realize that it's imperative that I also have to incorporate methods and tools to collaborate with parents in order to ensure success. Those same tools end up being the tools that are important in the education process of students in order to prepare them for the workforce and the general world ahead of them. So the North American Council of Online Learning states that 21st century virtual schools should be preparing this generation of learners to enter the world with the necessary skills to utilize tools of collaboration and communication that are basically the reality of global, web-driven workplaces and the world. So they say that the action steps of a 21st century virtual school must include the following. They must ensure that online courses are designed to teach students 21st century skills in direct and measurable ways, so we need parents to understand these skills as well. Project and portfolio-based assignments must include 21st century skills as part of the outcome. Ensure that online teachers can access a well-designed professional development strategy for online instruction of 21st century skills. Identify and employ all applicable high-stakes and formative classroom assessments that can be used in online environments to measure 21st century skills. And pursue collaborative efforts with others who are working to integrate 21st century skills into K-12 education. National and state education leaders, community leaders, district leaders, school leaders, etc. So, as schools are expected to prepare students with these 21st century digital schools, we must then find a way to incorporate these skills into our parents and their knowledge so that they can continue the educational process at home. So it states that these same actions are insisting that the changing student and the changing education platform currently happening continue to succeed only if there's a maintained collaborative relationship among the teachers, the parents, the students, and the whole community. So I actually recently had a chance to speak with my field-based instructor, and we actually do not live nearby, and we don't get to physically get together very often. So instead, we trade videos or use Skype or different platforms like that in order to collaborate, which I thought was ironic considering the project is about collaboration. So I asked her to reflect on 4 major questions regarding her classroom, her technology, and her collaboration with parents. The first question that I asked her was, how do you encourage parental involvement and working collaboratively with parents using technology? I also asked her, how do you bridge the knowledge gap with parents that are not considered tech savvy? What results do you see, positive or negative, in student achievement when parents are willing to work collaboratively with you? And the fourth question that I asked her was, what specific platforms or programs do you use to collaborate with your parents? So I'm going to show you what she had to say in response to those questions.
Hi, my name is Marianne John. I'm reporting to you from Midland, Pennsylvania, and today's date is Tuesday, November 13th. Miss Napoli and I sat down and talked about the learning session this week and the emerging educational technology trends and how we work with parents, especially regarding the digital divide. With technology, there are new communication tactics, and we must prepare our students and our parents, parents who are often members of the digital divide, to help their child increase achievement. So, Ms. Napoli had a few questions for me that we discussed. The first is, how do you encourage parental involvement working collaboratively with parents using technology? Well, through encouraging them, I talk to the students mostly. So what I do is I communicate with the parents through email, through Schoology, and give them the communication so that they are actually required to go to the technology to find our communication. Because I understand that some students or parents are not able to function technology using the technology, there's a few things that I've done. I've posted how-to documents in Schoology, which allows the parents step-by-step instructions as to how to check their grades, how the student should be completing assignments, and all that how-to information that they need. And what I do at the beginning of the year is I ask my students for homework assignment to actually sit down with their parents and teach them how to use these things so that their guardians can be helpful to them and provide support throughout the rest of the year. How do we bridge the knowledge gap with parents that are considered not tech savvy? Well, providing that information to them will certainly help them become more tech savvy. We also have some training opportunities. The Family Link provides computer training for students or for parents occasionally, and we just currently had an open house at PA Cyber, and during the open house, parents were able to log in to a meeting room on the computer, and if need be, they can learn and be instructed as to how to use Schoology and the other programs that we use at PA Cyber. Number 3, What results do I see, positive or negative, in student achievement when parents are willing to work collaboratively with me? Well, first of all, parent communication and involvement is one of the number one achievements predecessors that students have. If the parent is involved and the parent helps, often the student will achieve better. So I believe that the results are positive and absolutely fantastic. When a parent is looking over a child's shoulder and checking to make sure that they've done their work and asking them about what they learned, I certainly see increased involvement. And the perfect example and proof of this is when we did have our open house this year. The parents who attended have really been able to learn more about the program and help their students succeed so far throughout the year. Number 4, what specific platforms or programs do I use to collaborate and work with parents? Well, the first and foremost program that I use is our Schoology. I post announcements for the parents and the students so that they are aware of what's going on in the classroom, especially if parents are at work during the day and they're not willing to be with their child. When they get home, they can look at Schoology and see what we've done that day, what is expected of their child. And I also post notes as to what we will be working with in the upcoming day or the upcoming week. I also have a meeting room where parents are able to simply click a link that I would provide to them through email, and they can come in and speak to me. Of course, they always have the good old-fashioned telephone that is used quite often. Our number one communication method in my classroom for the parents is through the email. I use the email because I feel that parents are more familiar with the emailing system rather than the Schoology platform. And then once they're familiar with the email and I can contact them by email, then I certainly provide instructions for them to become more user-friendly with Schoology. So with the new communication tools that technology provides, it gives us an opportunity to help these digital natives as parents advance so that they can help their students succeed in an environment that is drastically changing. So Ms. Napoli and I talked about these, and we both teach English, so we use a lot of the same techniques, and we discussed as to how she's going to be using some of these tools in her classroom as well. So thanks for listening. Have a great day.
So there's Mrs. John's stance on collaboration. So after examining all of my research, considering all of the content of my graduate studies courses thus far, discussing with my field-based instructor, I have set myself 3 goals for this year in my classroom regarding collaboration with parents in order to ensure student success. These, I feel, extend beyond what I'm currently doing to collaborate with parents. So first, my first goal, I tend to offer a great deal of instruction for the programs and the technology that we use at our school through step-by-step instructions, a lot of times in a Microsoft Word document or a PowerPoint form. So in hopes to help parents familiarize themselves with these tools and become more comfortable with me as the teacher, I plan to utilize a video delivery mode instead of the actual documents that I'm sending. I can also continue to utilize both, but I'd like to try to utilize more videos in this delivery because this to me seems to be more personal, and hopefully it will encourage parents to feel more comfortable in approaching me for any assistance that they may need in the future regarding their student or any skills that they may need a little bit of assistance with. My second goal is that I'd like to offer some live sessions for my parents to visit my virtual office and seek any help with the tools that we utilize at PA Cyber. We have a yearly open house with parents where they can freely come and go as they please. But I thought maybe extending that and offering maybe a bi-weekly or bi-monthly, probably bi-monthly session on just kind of like a how-to for our technology and our programs such as Blackboard Collaborate, which is the platform that we use to deliver our instruction, or Schoology, which is the platform that we use to house all of our grades and our assignments. And it can be a little bit difficult to navigate for a parent who lacks general technology skills. So I'd like to extend these session opportunities in hopes of easing the parents' stress because initially involving yourself in a cyber school can be overwhelming. And again, this I hope will continue to build a more comfortable relationship among and between the parents and myself. And the third goal that I have is I would like to extend the offer of those same live meetings to parents to discuss their child's academics individually with me. I can use my virtual office tool for this. I could use Skype for parents who are willing to try that platform. We also have Google Voice accounts at our school. So there's a number of different programs and platforms that I could offer these through, but I feel like sometimes in a cyber setting, we tend to lack a personal touch with families. So I thought this may help build that necessary relationship in order to encourage collaboration among the parents and myself. And from my own point of view, it may give me a chance to get a little bit of insight from the parent about the student. What are they struggling with at home? What does mom see that is a little bit more difficult that I don't really get a chance to see maybe in class for the student? So I think that with these three goals, I hope to just encourage collaboration as well as make the relationship between the parent and myself more comfortable for both of us so that we can continue to ensure the student's success as the year goes on. So I appreciate you listening today, and I hope that I've provided some insight on the impact of parent involvement in the world of education and virtual learning. Thank you.